Hi, welcome to this video. In this video, we are going to look at assignments and operators in Python. So let's get started. Launch your Python default editor we'll be using, which is idle. So this is the text editor we are going to be using for now. Okay. Now we are also going to use the interactive shell for now, and as we proceed we would change to a different interface. So the first thing I want you to know about Python is that the interactive shell acts as a calculator. So any number can be added to another. So we can have the addition operation, which is 2 plus 2. We can have the subtraction operation, 100 minus 20. We can have the division operation, which is let's say 30 dividing 10. Okay. We can also have the multiplication operator. So how you multiply in Python is with the asterisk sign. So we can have 2 times 2. Alright, now we can also have exponent. Now how you perform an exponent is using double asterisk or 2 asterisk. So we can have 2 exponent 3, which should give us 8. Alright, so the 2 asterisk refers to an exponent. Okay, the last thing or the last operation I want us to look at is the modulus. Okay, now the modulus in mathematics refers to the remainder after an integer division. Okay, so for instance, if I have 5 dividing 2, the remainder would be 1. So how you always get the remainder is by using the modulo sign, and in Python it is this percentage sign. So we can have 5 modulus 2, you get 1. We can have 10 modulus 4, we'll get 2. Okay, so this modulo is actually very important, and going forward we'll be looking at certain programs that makes use of this particular modulus operator. So these are the basic operations in Python. Now we can use Python to do composite operations. For instance, in the above examples, we are only either adding or subtracting 2 numbers. So we can go as many numbers as we want in a single line. So let's start with something simple. So we can have 2 plus 3 times 4. In this example, we are multiplying, we are performing operations on 3 numbers. Now what is important is that I want you to notice or take note that in Python we have certain operators that have a higher precedence over others, and it's not in Python. So let me just say, in mathematics, multiplication will always have a higher precedence than addition. So in this particular example, Python interpreter will execute 3 times 4 before adding to 2. So if we should execute, we are going to have the answer to be 14. Okay, but then if I take the same example and then I wrap the addition of the 2 and 3 in brackets before multiplying it by 4, what is going to happen is that bracket has a higher precedence than multiplication. So 2 plus 3 will be executed first before it will be multiplied to 4, and doing that will give you an entirely different answer. Okay, so this is one of the most important things you should pay attention to when you are programming, because These wouldn't give you an outright error where you can know that, oh, I have an error, but it will give you wrong output, okay, which is very dangerous. All right, so this is how you can play around with operators. We'll be going more and in depth into these operators, but for now, let's look at variables in Python. What is a variable? Okay, in every programming language, the very building blocks, okay, is what we call assignment, which simply refers to associating a name to a value. In other words, giving a particular value to something you've already defined. So for instance, I'm going to be using a particular number, let's say 5, over and over again in my program. I can decide to assign it a name of 5. So anytime I want to call that number, I simply call 5. Here's an example. So I can say 5 is equal to 5. Now 5, which is spelled, I should use a different so let me say num is equals to 10. Okay, num now holds the value of 10. So anytime I call num, I get the value to be 10. Okay, so this is very important. I can then use num in an operation. So we can have num times 20, and then I'll get 200. So this is associating a name to a variable. Now in Python has this little trick where you can assign 2 or 3 variables in the same line. Okay, so I can have, let's say, a b is equal to 10, 20. What is going to happen is that it will assign 10 to a and b to 20. So later on, if I call a, I have 10. If I call b, I have 20. So this is how assignment works in Python. Now let's look at something that is a little bit tricky but very simple. Assuming we want to swap the values of a and b, we want to swap them. Okay, so we now want a to be 20 and then b to be 10. Okay, what we do is that we simply say a comma b, meaning that we are declaring new variables, which is a comma b, and then we are passing them the values of b comma a. So what you should ask yourself is, what is the value of b? B is 20, so it will be assigned to a. Okay, and then a is 10, it will be assigned to b. So doing that, when you call a, you get 20. When you call b, you get 10. So this is how simple Python is. Python gives you the opportunity to do very very complex things which may be in other programming language simply in Python. Okay, so doing this in a programming language like C++ or Java will require a lot of code than in Python. So in Python, we write less, we get the same results. Thank you for watching this video. In our next video, we would be looking at data types and typecasting in Python. Kindly subscribe to my channel.